Okay. Turn the microphone down a little bit, we should be okay. Now we wait. We're going to use this pair of Emma's pens, which is perhaps not the greatest thing to do, underneath my keyboard just so I don't hit anything too hard. Things you learn from podcasts for years. You don't want people who knock things like me. Why not? Come on, we can add a new roll. We can do this. Give moderator. Why not? Oh well, we'll see. Guess it's just kibbled. Oh well. Okay. Please don't ignore chats. Well, I'll do my best, but I have one monitor, so maybe I could keep myself up on my tablet. Yeah, that'll work. It's like you're streaming. Nice work, team. Thank you. Just going to send something to a couple other chats and get going. Facebook. I shouldn't complain over much, to be honest. It's not too hard. Okay. We're nearly there. Just want to send something out to a couple of other chats. And I've got to say you can only see the game screen, which is pretty convincing. Because it means I don't have to hide everything else on my computer. That'll do. That's good news. I like that. Some people are like, yeah, we'd love to. Like, oh god, you're crazy. Okay, let's give it a try. Really like this game. Probably no, because I've like tried to get several people to pick it up over the last several years. As you can see, it's getting old. That. And that. And that. Okay. Thanks everyone. Got myself a big bottle of SodaStream. And I have Pillars of Eternity here. I think I'll tap back to the game and you'll be able to hear that. Most recent news from a couple of years ago, so that's pretty cool. My favourite. It's a game that's well and truly relevant. Yeah, and I can see the chat on my tablet. So, what I'd like is if I could have people in chat tell me whether it's too loud or not, because it's very hard for me to tell. And actually, now that I think about it, whether you can hear the microphone. Because I have the game turned down so you don't hear some gross noises from like the cold I have, but who knows. Yeah? Okay. Thanks, Kane. I appreciate it. Alright. So I've played Pillars of Eternity twice. I finished it once a little bit after it came out. I enjoyed it. I'll turn the game volume down, I can do that. Yeah, just a little bit. I enjoyed it a lot the first time and then replayed it again when Pillars of Eternity 2 was about to be released because it does allow you to grab the character from Pillars of Eternity 1, move it into Pillars 2. I love that continuity. The game itself is an isometric RPG. I'm going to be playing it on easy because I'm not very good at this. And I don't like to think tactically, if I can avoid it. Thinking things through is not how I play games at all. I use build guides in my Morpigs, and I like to right-click attack things. As an isometric RPG, it's got a fixed camera location of above and behind a lot of the time, and we will control up to about 6 people at a time. The focus is on a lot of dialogue, talking, reading, that sort of thing. So this is going to be a pretty boring if you're interested in challenge. I know at least one person who's going to be watching has played through the first beginning of this game, didn't get too much further. That's okay, because again, like a lot of isometric RPGs, it starts slow and really gentle and very normal. Because if they're inspired by Dungeons and Dragons and other role-playing games...
5 wagons grope blindly
let's do this.
path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf.
It feels somehow pointed towards my current state.
The trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Right. So, setting the fucking scene is like simple as hell, right? You need some sort of adventure, like call to adventure. What you've got here is the most generic statement possible. A little bit about the land, a little bit about you, but not enough to say that, you know, you're any specific because we're about to do character creation. And what's about to happen. You're on the way to Gilded Vale, you're sick. That's all we know for now. That's cool. It has set one definite that actually needs to be paid attention to. You're not from the place we're going to go. You need to be an outsider in some way. This is a great tactic when you're building a role-playing game because you're setting a single bound, even if it's a relatively firm one, on your characters and character creation allows you to set some parameters of the game. If you say at an outset, You've come towards Gilded Vale. Only the most dickish of players will go, okay, the first thing I do is turn around and leave. Hopefully, right? It's no accounting for taste. Alright. Look at that generic male human warrior. James would be proud. Not this James, different James. First time through I chose a female. I was a barbarian. It was fun, but we didn't have too much. And then I played a cipher named Royath, which I continue to do every now and then. I like to reuse the concept. He was a cipher, which is a new class that's not in the standard D&D analog. I'm going to go with male just this time around. I honestly don't have any particular attachment to either gender. I wish I could customize pronouns, but you do what you can. Here we have the first divide from regular Dungeons and Dragons style games. Hell yeah. I like to start at the end with the godlikes because they're probably the most interesting twist on the standard race scenario in Dungeons and Dragons. In 5th ed, they are this. Unable to wear protective headgear is a good one. That's a very mechanical decision to make about your race. You cannot have this magic item slot. Big penalty. They come in several types, and you may see them in a little bit. I love short races. I think they're fun. All in seem to be a mix between some sort of feral race and halfling. I'm sorry, gnomes, not halflings. They're pretty standard elves. This is an aquatic elf that is generated for us. There you have the standard elf types, my favourite. I don't often play dwarves, but I don't really know why. I feel like they're a bit typecast, and that makes me not enjoy them as much. It's not their fault, but it's hard to have a dwarf origin that isn't generic Scottish drinking person, which is a shame, but you do what you can. Another diversion is from standard races would be the Almama, which are great aquatic style races. Bog standard humans. Unparalleled strength. I'm not sure what class we're going for yet. We may jump back and choose a different race, but in the meantime, I said I'd show you the godlikes. Let's go through them. These change. They add an additional type or sub-race for many of the races in the sequel. We won't be able to repick them if we get through that far. Death godlike are the most distrusted of their kind, strange growths over their eyes, or in some cases entire face, giving them a sinister appearance. The growths are transparent for the godlike, but opaque from the outside, hiding their features. Death godlike are commonly killed at birth, because many cultures are considered to be harbingers of doom. When you attack with less than 25% health, which is not strictly health, it's short-term survivability. Damage reduction, yeah. Complicated. You'll be knocked out. This applies the most towards players. Players have their endurance as their health. When they're knocked down to 0, you're knocked out, and then you can be rezzed. But a lot of enemies, you're going to knock down all their endurance, and then they will die because you're going to win most of the time. Hopefully. Fire godlike. It's pretty badass, It's hard to resist. I know we're getting some votes for death, but you haven't seen all of them yet. Yeah. Magrin. Magrin is a great goddess that we will be talking about at length and inspired one of the goddesses in my 5th ed setting. Damage reduction when you get low on health. Probably good for melee. Most tolerated. That's still some work. See, it's funny. We say fish person, but it does specifically have moon. We can go be a fish person. Heals it like a healing when they get hit to 75, 50, and 25% endurance. It's pretty cool. I like the nature godlikes to get more of a feel of a druid-esque style class. You get a bonus to stats, physical stats, when you're below 50%, which is pretty good. I did want to... So, wood elves and pale elves. This is from the pale, which is a type of frost. this is another fish person. And you don't choose type of fish. You go whether you live mostly on the coast or mostly on an island. You can see the differences there. And I quite like them. Interesting. But that's not a very good bonus. You get an additional weapon set. I'm not smart enough to switch weapon sets all the time, right? If we've got a request for Fancy's hat, I simply cannot choose a godlike. Sorry. Warlock race, defense against prone and stun effects. They're very typecasted melee based. And I've done that before. So I love that the short races have less might. I think that's I don't think it's mandatory, but it kind of makes sense. Sometimes penalties involved in character creation, penalties to stats, while they can be unfair and should be considered to be discarded if you want, is like, I feel like it's worth having them to guide you through character creation if you're beginning. That's worth doing it, right? Also like that they have wild Orlands, because that's fucking cool. Look at that! Yeah. Bonus hull defenses, if you target them with a mental attack, that's very good. And surprisingly useful. Let's see. I hate slavery coming up at all, but you can. This is good too. It's like your racial abilities leading towards classes, while it creates typecast, it does feel nice when there's a synergy that works, you know? And that is cool as hell. Okay. I think let's go. I actually don't know what Morissette is. Maybe it's Morrissey. But I'm tempted to pick up a Hearthorn because I think they're fun. Now we're looking at classes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 standard D&D classes, which are exactly as they say on the tin. You should not be surprised when they appear. Woof. Oh, chat. The two different ones that I love bringing them up are the Chanter and the Cypher. As stated in chat earlier, thank you, the Cypher is pretty closely aligned to a Scion, except they don't attack your mind, they attack your soul. Because the most important part of the setting of Eora is that they have empirically proven that the soul exists and have developed magic systems that interact with them and technology and magitech that works with the soul as well. It's creepy, it's not supposed to be normal, it doesn't feel right. A lot of people hate them, and a lot of think they're like, that's fucked up. Because it is, right? It's also known that the soul is reborn. It rebirths itself over time. Some ciphers react to that by reaching further into the past and grabbing previous souls. Summoning ability powers the ciphers. They directly target allies and enemies for soul-focused attacks. I've done this before. One of the things they have is like, on an ally, use their soul to attack all enemies nearby. That's cool. That's really cool. Like, you lash out using their soul. I like it. But I've done it before, so I can do it again. You also develop focus using soul whip, so you use a weapon to develop your focus to then you cast spells. It's a loop. It's not an amazing one. I like the priests, analogous to a cleric, need to, like, they're very dependent on the divinity that they worship, which is again more like second and AD&D. Fifth ed, you choose a domain, and that's how I prefer to do it in my D&D games. Rather than a divinity, you choose a domain. Here it's very much influenced by what deity you seek. And I was considering playing through as a devotary to Aethys, given that divinity has a big effect in the second game. But some of you did say that it would be a good idea to play a class that I haven't before, the unique class that I haven't played before. It's just that chanters are a little more passive, because this is their equivalent of a bard. In Eora, the bard class has been worked into chanters, and they are historians. In every culture across Eora, there are chanters. Many historians consider chanters to be the most ancient workers of magic, and they're hallowed. Ancient workers of magic. They're hallowed phrases stirring the collective memory of wayward souls around them, compelling them to generate magical effects in a kind of reenactment. In some societies, chanters form organised groups of storytellers and researchers, but in most parts of the world, they're just a time-honoured part of local folk traditions. What they do is constantly repeat phrases and important things from history. They repeat history and, tell stories about local folk heroes just in songs repeatedly throughout battle, and you don't actually use activated abilities to use that spell. You set up those chants outside of combat, and they'll just happen. They'll cycle through, and you can choose between 1, 2, or 3 that you've built beforehand. And then outside, and inside a battle, when you said enough phrases, you can then do another magical effect that will be slightly stronger than the others. It's kind of interesting. It's not my favourite. Chat is play whatever is good. And they've also said casters and nerds, and I am. I'm leaning towards Ranger because animal companions are cool, but I don't know. Animal companions are a lot more overhead at times. And druids are also pretty neat with shapeshifting. Or is it known spirit shift? Wizards, I'm not going to choose, not because I don't like them, but because there's a brilliant wizard companion we're going to pick up very early and later keep him. Essentially through the entire game. So I don't want to double up or even have a reason to remove him from the party. So Chanter or Priest of Aethys. You're going to have 2 minutes or so, check my phone, make sure I haven't missed any important messages, and I'd like chat to just sound off whether you want Priest of Aethys specifically, which is the dead god, very cool, or Chanter. We're gonna go with Chanter, and not just because Kibbled is you'll have to buy the damn game and play it for yourself. And that's good for me. I really like Obsidian, I like what they've done in the world, so while you've made an excellent attempt to try and get me to go with Priest, I also want to note it's not Priest of a death god, it's Priest of the dead god. That guy's fucked. It's one of the coolest things about the setting. So we're gonna go with Chanter. We now need to choose our phrases. Oh shit, mechanics. Fuck, why did we bother? Let's go back and just continue telling stories of one another. We're done. Anyway, so this is what I mean by the phrases are supposed to be about folk heroes and amazing things, right? Because this first phrase, the first one you say, the first one here, the first one you ever see when you start out and you choose, I'll be a Chanter. Blessed was Wengrinith, the quickest of his tribe. And okay, the effect is not amazing. You get movement rate and reflex for 4 seconds. For 4 seconds and lasts an additional 2. That's not amazing, but that's cool. That's going to happen without you doing anything. You can still use that sweet poleaxe. X dull the edge dull the edge and blunt the point. You know, reduce slashing and piercing damage. That's cool. So the enemies who are close enough to hear you chant have reduced damage because their weapons are worse. That's neat, right? Yeah, reduce concentration, so they may have their spells interrupted easy. If they've got a lower concentration and then you hit them, they may lose their spell. So you gotta think things through if you actually want to organize things, and I don't. So we're just gonna pick what sounds cool, to be honest. Come, soft winds of death. That's cool. Just 2.1 endurance per second being hurt, right? All enemies doesn't count for your allies. At the sight of their comrades, and then their hearts grow bold. Extra fortitude and will. What type of bard or chanter do you want to be? Decent question. We're going to go down the edge, blunt the points, we take less damage, and we're going to go come, soft winds of death, so that we deal a little bit of damage and we reduce the damage our friends are receiving. Invocations. Remember how I said, after you've spoken a few phrases, you can do something? Now we choose one of these. But Rennie Darrow's ghost here would not rest, so first level, 3 spells, goes through relatively quickly. You summon a phantom. For AoE, but negative damage reduction. If their bones are still stuck under that hill, none can say. Summon 3 skeletons. From the AoE, extra damage reduction, and if you're the caster, so this person, they would get extra damage reduction as well. So that one you would target. So you go area of effect, length, so you put it in that direction, and hit a cone, and no matter what, you will get a reduction as well. It's only slash and shock, it's not all damage types, so it's not as great as it may be, as it may seem. But let's just take some damage, right? Creates a thunderous explosion that stuns and shoves, yes please. Also, look at this. Gross as hell. Sorry, she was wrong and thrice justly avenged. So, faux AoE as well. So this would not hit allies, thankfully. We're going to go with thunder damage. We've picked that class. Done and done. Those are the things we picked. Even labels that are here for us. We want it, we can mouse over, read them. Tells us what points we need. We're going to be smart. No point not maxing it. We're going to be relatively resolute. Dexterities for chumps. You'll also note that there's no charisma, so you can't just stack it. Which is not a bad thing at all. It's highly recommended, but it's essentially required for everyone so you don't just die. You'll notice here that a lot of the time it says in combat and contributors accuracy, otherwise it's used to catch someone alive, make an observant comment about their appearance, sort of thing. I like having it just a little bit high, because it's really worth knowing when someone's lying to you. Here it is, it can be useful for mental intimidation, leadership, convincing performances. Performances is a key skill here, I don't think we should go without it. Here it's intimidating displays, brute force, contributes to both damage and healing and fortitude defense. It's not just strength, it is might in general. And here is action speed, how fast you do things, sleight of hand, fast reactions. Let's do that. So we don't have a penalty to damage in that way. I wish we had more points. Where are we coming from? Remember how I said that you are specifically coming from outside in? You're coming to Gilded Vale? Well, what does it look like? Where are we coming from? So the Adir Empire, largest powerful force in the world. You know, cool. Human, elven nations, gives you resolve. Ooh, extra stuff. Deadfire Archipelago, which is cool because your location also changes your arms and armor, which is pretty nice. Deadfire Archipelago, which is actually where the sequel is set. So did we come from there? Then we go, oh shit, better head back. Worth doing. Dexterity, you know. Lots of armor here. Little plains. Fertile savannas, human and all in residence. One of the oldest in the world, but they don't go out. That's pretty good. Resolve is not a bad thing to have a bonus on. Raise it to 16, get a bit of a kick. Empire of Warring Merchant Nations. Stack intellect as well, which It's just useful as a chanter. Area of effect and duration. You know? Like area of effect and big one. It'll allow us to stand back further when we're casting. Rautai. I picked the Living Lands last time as well, just for the might bonus primarily. But it's interesting that they're like, diversity of plant and animal life allows you to pick a background as like scientist. And then, and then if you pick the two, it's like, oh yeah, I studied plants and animals, I was a biologist, it was cool. And the white that wins is like, you're in Antarctica. Well, actually more likely to be the Arctic, but it is the southern side of the world. Like, lots of hardy and dangerous animals that forage from the sea and prey on each other. You live around polar bears, man. You gotta see them coming or you're fucked. I actually like this as a good start. I haven't done it before. There is one other character that comes to the white that wins, and it's a hell of a name. So let's do it. What did we do there? Alaskan Furry Gnome is right. What did we do there? That's a decent question. I will pick this. I'm not going to open it up to the chat just because it takes a little bit of time. Here you get a bonus to a couple of skills. But more importantly, it likes to think about the background. Now that we've got a sex, race, class, and culture, at least most of it, we should start thinking about what type of character we're building, or where they came from, what they want to do. Do we hunt things? As a chanter? Doesn't seem quite right, but maybe we want the stealth and survival bonuses and we'll make it up as we go along. I think what feels right to me is a mystic. Not just because Nora's cool. I don't know, there's also... I'm going to go labourer. Aristocrat. Okay, Aristocrat is also lore. It's just the marked by lavish meals and extravagant parties. I'm thinking about if we're chanter and we're repeating the stories of our culture, what do we want them to be? And for labor, I was thinking you clearly sing to everyone while you work and build houses. That's pretty cool. Aristocrat to me is like, well, storyteller at parties? Not bad. That's pretty cool. Alright, sure. Fairy Gnome Lord. Should have spent some time getting some custom portraits, huh? There's an Aristocrat gnome for you. There are not many of them. You know? A pick of two, primarily, that's not easy. It was a Kickstarter game and these portraits are expensive. I will click through just so you can take a quick look at them. It reminds me that some of the portraits in Baldur's Gate 2 were traced over photos of celebrities, and Bioware had to do a settlement out of court to remove them. It wasn't much fun to just have that dropped on you. The artist you hired did you a dirty. I believe there's a way to add custom portraits as well. I didn't bother. Watercolor is a good standard. Excellent bet to make lovely dynamic portraits. Not that I'm actually an artist, so I'd be able to tell. Played through as that guy at least once. I'm pretty sure I use a custom portrait for the Cypher and the Barbarian. I don't like that guy. Yeah, it was a Cypher. Wasn't custom at all then. That's not bad. I used that in a different game, in Pathfinder Kingmaker. And I really liked Kingmaker. It would come all the way around. Alright. Noble or wildling? Easy. I wish we could zoom in, but we can't. We choose dark green because I'm a trope. try and prove I have some sort of colour sense by not choosing something awful. 1 vote for 57, 1 for 58. Kibble, I think you're doing it on purpose. What's this? Oh, very cool. So again, we're still recovering from a cold, so I'll just mute the microphone every now and then if I need to cough. I don't want to do that in your ear, it's not very fair. Gotta have blue hair. I know it doesn't match, I like it, too bad. Strong sell from these. First bot. Wow, that was quick. yeah, you're a mod. I couldn't make David. I could not make Broken Fake Line 1 for some reason, or Dead Man's Tea Party. You complain at me every time. So you got the power for now. I'm sure it's going to immediately go to your head. Let's do that. Oh, badass. Never enough customization options, ever. But you do what you can. Slick back hair. Slick back, very organized. That's sweet. Alright, we're very close. We're very close to finishing. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah? Watch and learn.
Yep.
Yeah!
They won't see me coming.
You hear that?
What is it? Now I am the leader of the group.
Do you know who that is?
No prisoners!
Yeah, I do.
Quietly now. I'm here. I'm flattered.
Stand together!
Shh. I'm here. I'm flattered.
Let's go!
Steady does it. Yeah. Follow me.
Ugh.
Let's go!
Quickly and quietly. Yeah? I've got this.
You knew it feisty.
Let's go! Quickly and quietly.
Yeah? I'll lead the way. You better run! Nothing will slip past me.
Leading the way.
Charge!
The better part of valor.
Yes?
I shall lead us.
Nope, that's definitely not it.
Yeah. Sharp eyes and keen ears. I shall lead us.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah!
That's not Smith.
They'll never know I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
Watch and learn.
Let's go. Nice and slow. Yeah? Follow me. Yeah!
Real benevolent, that one.
Not a sound. Yes?
Now I am leader of the group. Bring them down.
Time to see and not be seen.
I've got this. Death to our enemies! I'll go on ahead. Just say the word. Leading the way. Attack!
To whispers and shadows. Yes?
Not bad. Matt Mercer is, as far as I can tell,
Now I am the leader of the
sinister,
Let's go!
not feisty,
Quick and quiet.
I'm here.
noble.
Leading the way.
Noble
Onward.
and sinister.
A blade in the dark.
But definitely sinister.
Now I am the leader of the group.
Easy does it.
Okay, so we've had some yells for Sinister and Feisty.
Yes. Now I am the leader.
Sinister sounds slightly mean. I don't do that very well. I'll try, but not very well.
Blade in the dark.
Feisty sounds like this.
I've got this.
Let's go!
Time to see and not be seen.
And I like that one. So
I've got this.
I'm gonna go with Feisty. Oh, jeez, this is the hardest one, isn't it? No. White wins. All in. Here. Heratus. It's not bad. Not bad. I don't hate it. We've had Drago Smalls, and that's pretty good too. Anyone else want to yell out a name at me? I don't think I can go with 2-pack just because it's well, hold up, let's look at this skin tone, and my severe lack of understanding of anything in the subject would make me an outsider. But the magic wrapper is pretty convincing as a reason. It's a good rationale. You got just a little bit longer because I am actually interested in Heratus as a name. It's not terrible. It does have the terrible apostrophe, which makes it a fantasy name, so I could be convinced. LP. I know I'm missing something with LP, that's all. Slam Shadows! That's amazing. Dead man, that's amazing. Oh, you son of a bitch. Let's go. Pillars. 1. Let's go. You don't even drink that much, man. The caravan master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and sagging jowls quivering, as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you are planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods towards a looming black mass on the hillside. Whole areas crawling with the hut-dwelling types would be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing, so mind that you don't track them out on the sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood? At last, the caravan master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards.
They wobble.
Unless you don't drink water, of course. Which case you'll be dead in a day.
You got dysentery. Sorry, buddy. I mean, I do.
Berry
I'm
grows
playing
in
you.
these parts, small and pink, called a springberry, about the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water.
It's a fresh air for me too.
I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker. Let's see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Where would I find these
Grow on
berries?
a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
Alright, give me some lore then.
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear.
He probably heard a cat. He wandered off because he was yelling. That's what he does. I do have dog though. See? Probably. I don't know, I can't see my screen. Good girl, Marvel. So I'm going to wake you up just to make you an internet celebrity. And then we take lots of photos, so you're probably used to it by now. Instagram doggo. Okay. We're going to alt-tab to check the camera. No, not too bad. Okay, cool, we're back. Right.
Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pond, so I hear.
Anyway, who did build
Got
them?
different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Mean. It's dangerous
Gotta
out
be worried
here.
about your business,
We're gonna die.
and not if the weather holds it.
Ooh, there's concern in his tone, but he does not elaborate. What kind of weather do they get out here?
This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beawick, born out of the ether, a spirit's path.
We got a wife too.
Never seen it myself,
Question.
never cared to.
How much pizza should I heat up?
Sorry?
How much pizza should I heat up?
Feed me pizza.
Would you like some pizza?
Yes, please.
Legitimately.
Thank you.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, sweetie.
I will heat up some pizza.
Everyone wave to say hi to Emma. My characteristically, I have dysentery. Also, Beerwick. Very cool. More world building. One of the huge rocks came out of the ground. And, like, we know that's coming, clearly.
They don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories.
More world building.
It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things.
See? People
I've
don't
heard
like
tell
ciphers.
they
They
move a
don't
man's
like
soul. I don't
working
care
the
to
souls.
see.
It's a specific word
Got
for
enough
it
to
that I don't
worry
remember
about
right
without
now.
seeing something like that. Hold on.
Let's go get some
Take
berries.
someone with you. I know
Right?
you're not
Start
some
the game.
helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep. Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up on her own
He
time.
needs to find some spring berries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
You might die.
Kind you can afford.
Oh,
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything. Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
so we know what's happening, right?
Word the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
We added a
What you need?
person to our party. We were given a short quest.
Yeah?
We've got space to explore the world. Right? Oh, that's too slow. Thank you. Better. So, we've got some lovely effects. Yeah, I'll leave these open for you as well. Fighter, use your ability to keep you alive. Select them, left click, drag. Boom.
No problem.
Right click, you can turn the directions.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
And we can talk to any of these individuals. Alt tab tells us everything we can interact with in the local area, including law. See? Adra. Cool shit. Big part of the world. We'll learn more about it as we play. Right. This is locked. Mechanics. You'll need 3 lockpicks if you have a 0 mechanic skill. you'll need 1 lockpick if you have 1 mechanic skill, and if you have 2, it'll cost 0. Cool. We have 0. We only have mechanics 1. Whoops. What about this one? Unlocked? Let's go. Light armor with 0 damage reduction. And a lockpick.
Why not?
Give it a try. Sure.
There, done.
Done. Got ourselves a free potion. No one yelled at us, and it's a video game. We might as well. Pretty sure this was because I backed the Kickstarter. Same with this giant miniature space piglet, which is going to be our buddy. Put this in quick items, I can heal if we get into trouble. There's my giant miniature space pig. Alright, quick dialogue with the Carabiniers, see if they're going to say anything useful. Nope. Apparently Hayden doesn't like it either. Dice rolling. I don't think they roll dice. They randomly generate numbers, but it isn't specifically dice, so it doesn't. Not trying to emulate the Pathfinder system. Neither of these people want to wear this light armor, so we're going to put it in the stash. We don't need it. Let's go. You should also have mana regeneration. Increases healing. Just 1 second. And we're back. Sorry about that. The cost been tickling me all day. Been a good day so far, though. Right, Hayden. Hey, buddy. You're an NPC with a portrait.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered with uneven stubble, as if he hadn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Before, let's hear
I'm a
you
trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be.
So
we're here to make the most of things. Right?
This may be one of the dialogues where we can only choose one of the options. Also pretty standard for an isometric RPG, right? We don't want to be able to say everything to every person every time because it means our character doesn't exist, right? And we have a reputation to develop. What do you want to say to this person? And we came from the white that wins, cold, vicious place. What do we do?
Help.
We help.
We help move the dog so I can walk past. I'm sorry, I meant back, but
Head in that direction.
okay.
Yeah. And now I can do that.
Some real life problem solving for your stream, where they can laugh at us
Chat
being
has said
dorks.
hi to Emma.
Okay. Now, my plate has 3 pieces of pizza warmed up on it because it's my pizza,
yeah.
and if I don't get around to finishing the 3rd piece, it's yours.
Yay!
Whereas you get 1.
That sounds pretty fair. Everyone says hi. I'm sure you can jump in chat and join him as well.
Except you haven't sent me your stream name, husband.
Yeah, I have sent it to at least one chat you're in.
Have you sent it to me since before? Since I left for my appointment, or after?
Before. It's there, I promise.
Yeah, but I mean, have I
Well,
seen
before
it?
you left, no.
Okay, yes, alright. So you're not saying, like, I've sent it to you before, why don't you know my
like
stream name?
months ago. Why don't you remember literally everything? Luckily not. Okay, so we need to chew burger. No, you want Emma to say burger. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's go.
Why am I saying burger?
Oh, you join chat and find out, babe.
Oh, okay. Right.
Let's be
Emotional
relatively
blackmail.
content, right? Oh my god! The game just tutorialized us in disposition and reputation. Because we said something vaguely nice. Some people like it when you're mean to them.
With consent.
Yeah. Well, no. In there, for the main character only, dispositions will modify holy radiance and faith and conviction for paladins. You gotta roleplay your faith and or your class ability and conviction, because otherwise you could lose it entirely. It's a replacement for alignment, which is pretty good.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Let's play some games instead of just continuing to talk to everyone. Let's not waste everyone's time. I don't really think we need to buy any of these. Right? Maybe this? I don't have a lot of money, so let's just wait. Maybe. 75? Yeah? Over some of that. Over that. Or just... Yeah. Just one more. Just one more. Yeah. There you go. Not very convincing, so lockpicks cost more than they should have. But it's good to have a few. Alright, let's go.
Got it.
We should do more of the game, right? Remember to explore. Yes, thank you, game. Look at this guy standing underneath the light source. How fancy.
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
What a jerk. So inevitably we're about to get into a fight, right? Chat 1. Activate it, so it'll happen. Right click. Plants these three phrases, which are the three ones we know, right? That's how it goes.
Huh?
Foraging. Because it's a real nerdy game, everything's got at least a bit of details, right? Not too bad. How for night is money? I don't know. Like, I don't think... I remember having too much money, but I don't buy that much stuff. At some point you get a really cool giant castle, and I spent a lot of money on the castle. Yeah, so this path, this is back where it came. You can even see the wagon rut.
We shouldn't stray too far.
I like it because one of the
Let's
reasons
check
I
by those
like this
outcroppings.
game is that it's beautiful. Beating up a wolf! Alright, so
What you need?
formation-wise, let's put this person first. Start up a formation so that they're in front of us. We have more people. Let's do it. It's a good idea to pause the game. And I've got auto pause set up. Oh no, we had combat. Slam Shadows, our rap poet, immediately starts chanting the chant 1 we had set up, which is this one here. These are our chants and other abilities. You can see that we sing one, then 2. Right. And that one lasts that long, and we start chanting this one, and it still has an effect until there, and at that point it runs out. This one continues, and we'll re-begin there. When we'll level up, we'll show you some more cool stuff. See? Careful arrangement can produce a powerful sequence of passive effects. Alright. We don't have many abilities. We've got a fighter and a chanter, so level 1 we're just going to go hit this wolf. Sorry wolf, we're going to knock you down. We're playing it easy, this is going to go fine. Engage, you stop moving. If you move, you'll get a disengagement attack. Attack of opportunity. Simple. Automatically engage abilities. Some fighters get abilities allow you to engage more than one person. Hooray! Okay, still paused because we started engagement. Unpause. Look at this. Kaliska engages. We start doing chanting. I graze it with the with the cool thing. Knockdown hits it, crushes, interrupts its attack so it can no longer continue because here's the roll percentile system. 84. It beat its concentration of 72. Right? Cool. Reduces damage. Anyway, let's go. Sorry, Wolf. Hate the sound of dogs being hurt in games, but, you know, wolves are... There you are. Boost your progress, so the more we kill wolves, the more we'll understand about wolves as well. Which is not a great way to foster understanding between people, but hey, it is also a video game. We put a wolf hide there, we'll sell it to the dude in just a moment.
This is it.
Springberry! Done. Right? That could be the end. We didn't explore much of this map, right? Here's another thing. We're now talking about our background. Right? Ah, you thought it was just a stat bonus. No! Here. So, royal blood? Maybe? Has some clout amongst the elite. I think that's better. Here we're making a statement about what our character used to do. We said, told stories at parties. That's what I want to do. Why did we leave? Well, clearly, family considers me an embarrassment, and I'm not projecting at all. Fuck you.
Huh?
So, hopefully it works in the end, but it may not. It's been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Raedric's offer makes a girl think. You here to settle like the rest of it? I'm like, maybe? Maybe we just left. We just ran in this direction. We're not sure. No harm in that. Might as well see the place first. So we must have some other plan in mind for coming this way. Or meet some new friends, or meet some new friends. I don't know. Let's get into trouble, right? That sounds like fun. Troublemakers. So let's get a little bit more about the world. So, not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Adir Empire, but broke off after a war. The locals are feisty, and that's how they like it. I have much been hearing weird kinds of things about it lately. People having trouble giving birth. A lot of them. Been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. I'll have to ask my sister about it. Here you go. Backstory, right? Kaliska, cool girl. Likes open skies, far horizons, likes to wander. You know. Parents ended up in the Living Lands, brother in Rautai and another in Adir. Sister is in Gilded Vale, where we're going. So maybe we'll meet her up with Kaliska, because she's in our party. Why is she here? Sister moved out, sent a letter that said worried, right? And now, she's going to meet her. And if we're going to Gilded Vale, maybe we've got some plot twists. Let's go ahead. Much better woman than me. Alright. Okay, I don't know if I've walked before, doesn't drive the route this way, doing it this way. Let's go. Sparkle's getting you water anytime soon, so we'll go check up on him, hit him, and he'll get us some water. Or we'll do it ourselves. So, like, if you're invested in the world, you can talk to everyone constantly, learn everything all the time. I kind of want to do that, but I don't want the stream to be too boring. I say as I open up my stash, I'm like, look at the description on this particular mushroom. I like this. This is the kind of shit I like. I play more pigs for like gentle sort of Twitch gaming and going through a story, or I play a lot of isometric RPGs because, boy, do I love just getting lost in a world for a bit. You know? If we had a very high perception, some parts of this place would light up and say, hey, loot here. At least most of the world works that way. See, look how fucking gorgeous this is. Right? And the isometric angle allows the creator of the game to like create these sort of camera views, and that's it. If you were in a third-person view, it would be harder to determine exactly what view you wanted the person to see at what time.
What a surprise. Sparkle went hunting. At least you left the water skins. Come on.
Okay, this is another thing Pillars does that's really cool. This uses your stats in like a similar sort of dialogue that allows you to test your skills. Your whole party skills at once as well. And they can be several pages long. And it's also how they do naval combat in Pillars 2. Just a bit of a tease. So here's Sparfell. He's like, oh shit, one of the guys. Yeah, right? They want it to be interesting.
Sparkle, are you alright?
So they have voice acting. Fuck, right?
Ambush!
Now, this is going to be a little bit more dangerous than a regular wolf. There's two people, we need to engage in both. Luckily, I've got a melee weapon. Let's try and do one here to knock down, so we're not going to be shot by arrows constantly. Another one here to engage in below. Let's see how it goes. Bam! I immediately got hit and lost 7 hit points. And he interrupted my attack. That's how much damage I'm taking. Yeah, sometimes your characters complain if using the wrong type of weapon. Again, I don't pay that much attention. I don't care. I should. I don't. Oh, knockdown worked. Grandfather and Hunter's down. Kaliska did great work on that one. She's only lost 1 hit point, and she's got a relatively high regen, because she's a fighter. I'm going to let her hit that guy again, deal with it. If we're concerned, it's about slam shadows. Okay. Callisto just stopped. She doesn't have AI on this one. I think you can set it up a bit later. So I need to go tell her, alright, go deal with this guy. In fact, let's use another per encounter ability and knock this guy down as well, if we can. Whoop. Oh, we missed. That's a shame, but that's how it goes. We're a little low on health, but we've said enough phrases to use our first invocation. Let's go. Slam shadows, use your magic words. Lightning the guy to death.
Quethe, Silmis, me too.
Steal some money. Now, this is again one of the most video gamey decisions we'll ever make. It'll happen near constantly. We're not going to go back to camp. Fuck going back to camp. Poor Sparful is dead already. Let's get some beer. Let's loot the area, look around, see what we can do. The combat music is still telling us, oh, we're in trouble, don't waste any time. But, like a lot of video games, you're rewarded for not following the narrative decisions, or what would make sense for the characters. They should be afraid, trying to, like, look after their own lives. You better go back to camp, see if everyone else is attacked. Footprints are distinct, maybe the days. So what we're going to do instead is just keep walking and investigating and looting. This is pretty evident from at least as early as Doom. We're in a lot of locations. Searching for secrets and hunting around the map was important, even though the whole game itself is incredibly fast-paced and you're supposed to move through and shoot demons quickly. You're supposed to also investigate, right? And search for secrets. It ranked you in your performance in searching for hidden shit. If we went this way first, we can probably find that there's a corpse with leather armor. This might hint us that perhaps something is not all it seems. Anyway, if we didn't stop and investigate, take a look at that beautiful little bioluminescent thing, we wouldn't get that leather armor, we'd be worse off. Let's go back to camp. Hit hard enough and damage doesn't matter, I agree. Oh no! Out of the Glenfarthing Hunter! Good thing we regenerated all of our endurance, but not all of our health. Let's get him!
Silmis, me too.
Bonk. Yeah, he's taking some hits. He's not going to last through. The two of us together, he'll go down fast. Yeah. Also worth noting, Callisto is dual wielding. She's got a battle axe and a torch, which is, you know, cool. We need to give her points for that. Leave combat, loot, and let's keep going. I put things in the stash because we've got a limited amount of inventory slots and the stash is not limited, so we can go as much as we want. Look at that. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read that, sorry. All around you lie the massacred remains of the other travellers, peppered with arrows and knife-hilled, splayed and bug-eyed and filthy. Kaliska puts back of her left hand to her mouth as if to ward away some poisonous vapour. A handful of dark fingers stands above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them, towering severe with a thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of a man you recognise as Head, the last of the caravan left standing. Okay, the giant miniature, in short, sorry about this, the giant miniature space pig is a reference to the giant miniature space hamster carried by Minsk, the giant in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. The Ranger Minsk is kind of dumb, he's such an intelligence of like 8, he protects Data here, that's most of his characterization. That and he loves to smite evil with his sword, kicking butts of evil. The giant miniature space hamster is a hamster with no other special abilities to it. In later years in D&D, they actually do implement a space hamster, which is quite large. So, you know, grandfathered in. It was a pre-order or collector's edition bonus for the game. To get this pet, there are other pets you can get, and I will at some point. So here, Let's go back to our poor dead character. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life for a fight that you will lose. Okay, so, law. We got the law skill, so here we have a dialogue option that says law 1. So we see this, and we would not see it if we had 0 law. The rule has not been sullied by our hands, man of Eora Glenfarth. And that's true. We didn't go in, so why are they killing us? Let's do that, right? That's reasonable. Let's say it. Your words carry no weight when I see the truth with my own eyes. Blood must be paid for this intrusion. Well, that sucks. We tried. So I say again, lay down your arms. What are we going to do? We lay down our arms, do you think they'll kill us? Hayden says, don't trust them. They'll kill us. Okay. Here we can see the options that we are not good enough to get. Might 14. We don't look tough enough. And that's not just physically. We don't look tough enough to intimidate, tell them they're jerks. What? We also don't look athletic enough, and I know. We wanted to play smart, resolve, that sort of thing. So we have these options. We're innocent, we don't listen to reason. The encourages mask, no one's slain a true warrior. What? We're just going to say to their face, oh, you've only killed caravan workers. Try and take us on, you jerk. You can kill him, you might as well be killing yourself. I don't know, what sort of approach is that coming from, right? Go ahead, kill him. Kill him now, do it. You just yell at the fuckers. And judging by string animal teeth, I'm guessing you're worshippers of Galloway. If Galloway told you to stop protecting the ruins, would you? Can you out-logic Fanatic? They just killed a bunch of people. Or we go, alright, put down a shit, hope they're okay. So, this is again, what type of character do we want to play? We're looking at it and it's complicated. Alright, well, we're clearly not strong. Yeah. And we don't want to be too athletic because we cannot do it. So we're going with intellect, which is I don't think that's going to work. We want to be a smart kind of guy who just points out things. Remember, we tell stories. We told stories about folk heroes while we were at dinner parties being rich and pampered, right? Do we think we're in over our head and are going to respond by being aggressive? Or are we in over our head and we're just going to go, but I see this? I don't know. I think reasonable is not over, is great when you're playing by yourself. Reasonable, erudite, sees through things, thinks things through, makes appropriate decisions. That's great, but we're not also putting on entertainment of a stream. So let's do something stupid and yell, go ahead, kill him now, do it! He hesitates. His eyes narrow, he studies us. What kind of coward asked for his own man to be killed? Sorry, what kind of coward asked for his own man to be killed? The kind who will be so enraged by it that by no amount of pain will stop him from beating you so savagely that you will carry the disfigurement into your next life. Again, he hesitates. He looks off to the side, frowning, as if re-evaluating his strategy. With a deep breath, the man meets your gaze. You first, then. Okay. So he shoves Hayden towards us, and as he does so, the man rakes his blade against Hayden's torso. He screams and stumbles forward, he's got a gash in him, he's gonna... that's not good. And then he charges at us, but he didn't cut his throat. Is that a success? I think it is. That's Hayden. Hayden's now in our party. What class is Hayden? He's a first level rogue. No, there's 3. Well, we'll do fine. What is he equipped with? 2 daggers? Awesome. Let's go leather armor too, which you can't take off in combat, which just makes sense. Okay, well we're committed now. We're gonna cause some trouble, huh? So Hayden, stab. In fact, use blinding strike. Maybe it means he won't be able to see. Hayden's also got an injury, which is something you get when you're knocked out. Bruised ribs. Bruised. They were slashed open. We all saw the dialogue. We're going to keep casting that. And then, you're going to do knockdown, because it just works, right? You knock that down. You don't want to deal with that bow. Perfect. While he's knocked down, let's deal with the hunter. I don't have any AI, so I didn't tell him to attack. Did that work? Let's take a look. Blinding strike. Hits. Blinding strike. Grazes. Blinded for 5.3 seconds. Awesome. So graze. It wasn't the full effect, but it was something. Let's go. Oh, he's down. That was easy. Alright everyone, finish it off, deal with this hunter. With twice the stab, they didn't stand a chance at hell. Easy. Bomb, bomb. Your enemy lays supine on the ground, unable to rise. His companions now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in a wheezing, fitful gasps. He looks not at you, but the sky above you. Forgive us. Wind comes up like an angry spirit.
Get inside!
Shit.
Run!
Too many times. Caravan Master Dema says, sitting beside a wagon wheel amidst the howling maelstrom, slashed across his chest and bowel, he stirs and he gets up and he says, just run! So it's a beerwhack, right? Which is a windstorm infused with souls. And if you're out in the open, you're fucked. So here we go. We got another one of these. Straining against the gale that threatens to pull you off your feet with every step, you climb in the weathered rock and start pulling yourself up the side. You climb up to the top. Hayden is injured, right? Because of a dialogue. He gets to the top, lunges for Hayden, and topples him onto the rocky ground. Hayden lashes out, but struggles to break hold. They're close. Despite the wind from a position, you could throw your weapon, right? We don't have this. We don't have not dexterous enough. We're going to throw a weapon, or we're going to try and see if he can do it by himself. What do we choose? Clearly, we're going to throw a weapon. We're not choosing the correct choice. Come on. Hit him. Perfect. He gets up, comes to the top, pulls him sideways, tears one of his hands free, but you catch him. Securing his other hand, you pull with waning strength as it feels like your arms will be jerked out of their sockets. You hold just enough to put him on his feet and join you in the ledge. Some resonance this with wind. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet, inside the cavity of your own chest, as it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. And as you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight. And that's the tutorial, essentially. At least part of it.
Was that?
Kaliska's talking, yes.
A Bewick. Had to be.
Right?
Then we're lucky to be alive.
That was close.
And we're the only ones.
Just the three of us.
We can't stay
And
here.
Pig.
There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside. Can you walk?
So, this does depend on your dialogue. He's not injured every time. Sometimes he's dead and it's just you and Kaliska in here. He can make it. It's fine.
What you need?
Tab, what do I have to look at? Quest complete. I'm not doing. We've got some experience. Go us. New quest. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, you probably can't see this because my face is over the quest dialogue. Sorry. Thanks, False. False security. I'm glad you mentioned that. Sam Regal. A lot of the Critical Role people are in this game, and all of them are in the sequel.
We look for
all
another
the
way out.
actors,
Storm
none
has
of
to
the
die
crew,
sometime.
as far as I know. So, like, all right, what do we do? You don't seem too upset. And she's like, "Fuck you, I'm upset." Like, fair enough, right? She's tough. Okay, well, what about everyone else? They're dead. The wheel has hold of them. More world building, right? Who attacked us? Glenfarthans. You know? Like, it could be the Fangs of Galloway, who are the Twitches and lot. They would go ruin to ruin, look for fights. Half expected this once we lost the main road. Someone trespassed in the ruins. But we didn't, right? Or there's looters. So we said, hey, we've never been in there. And they were like, we saw them. That's why we killed all of you, duh. And finally, let's ask the most important question. Hey, what just happened? Windstorm. Bjork. God's way of reaping the souls of the land that couldn't find their own way out, but they'll take a living soul as soon as a dead one. Still got yours? Shit. We were gonna move on, and then he stumbles. Gets up a little bit.
Could we maybe stay here and rest a few hours? I've lost some blood. Seems quiet out to the left. Be a place to rest there.
I hate to say this, but we can't afford to stay put.
Rest?
Those Blindfoggins were
Don't rest.
Could be we got company. Looters will be armed and ready to kill, and there's probably a lot of them. We can't be caught sleeping in their beds.
So,
maybe you didn't hear me. We are gonna die in here if we don't get moving and get this place figured out before the looters come back. We've either got to find the exit or a damn good place to hide.
So we didn't hear him cry out for pain because they clicked it too fast. What do? Take the risk and rest? Or move on? I'm gonna say move on, right? Sorry, Hayden. I didn't want you alive, but like... no, fuck it. Let's rest.
This will be the end of us. No offense, but there's people out there I'd much rather die for.
And like, she said earlier that she's seen worse, right? We should trust her.
Thank you.
But this guy, he needs help, and his voice was some regal, so we want to. Camp! She's a camping bonus. I think it's based on survival. You can also make food and cook in the sequel, I think. Maybe in this one as well, if someone's good at cooking. Anyway, rest. Single campfire rest. A little movie. Look at that. 8 hours passed. Kaliska has left. Flesh has begun to get together. Cool.
By the gods, that's better. I think I'm ready to find a way out.
But she's left. And she took our water.
Damn it. She took all our water.
This is me. I personally would be like, well, look, let's try to catch up with us. What the hell? Or, I hope she'd been out of it. But, again, let's be a jerk. Let's see if she gets the end she deserves. So, yeah. She left. She was annoyed. She waited till we were asleep. And she left. So, let's go. We don't have a fighter anymore. We have no one to hold the line, no one to do that sweet, sweet knockdown. It's just you and me, buddy. What was that? Thin ribs? Low rip? Well, I think he's cute. Aw. Soft clicking sound. Okay, so stand still. He wants to sniff. Okay, well, I don't want to tear into pieces even though it's making that cute noise, so let's go back. If we walk closer, he'd probably turn on us.
How can I help?
Didn't I say we had a rogue now? Sneaky, sneaky. That's how fast it's seeing us. There you go, yeah. Scouting mode. Self-finding hidden objects like traps. Once it fills with yellow, it becomes suspicious and move to us until it fills red. Red character is discovered. Okay. Mechanics allows you to find traps and whatnot. If you move close to an item, they'll fight to a creature, they'll find you faster. I want this goddamn thing. Come on, come on, come on. What are we doing? Hunting bow. So it became hostile for some reason. Even though, because like the dialogue was, go near it, it will attack you. We chose not to, it didn't. The game itself triggered the you got close to it so it becomes hostile, even though it didn't strictly see me. That's why we can now attack it. I don't think it's worth attacking just yet. It said it was thin and malnourished. Let's not cause trouble if we don't have to, right? The discarding modes move stealthily. Sure, but walking slowly is boring.
What other symbols?
Let's activate fast mode and then we can scout and not go too far. This guy walked over 3 steps and exploded. I mean, come on.
How can I help? Oh, Alicia.
Oh, this guy? Or Kalisha. We found her. She walked straight forward through a trap and died. 10 experience per trap. Not so much a puzzle. Ugh. Oh boy, that was dumb. So I didn't disarm that trap. I just walked straight onto it. But, as you said, we've got our water back. Let's get our experience, see if we can recover. You notice Hayden's got less experience, and he has a severe burn, because he was burnt to death. It's going to happen in any combat. Very unfortunate, indeed. And some of them are 3 difficulty, we're getting 30 experience each. Look at that, now we can walk safely across. If Calliska just waited, we would have been okay. Also, we're close to leveling, so expect doing. Alright, what's through this door?
That roundish symbol. Pretty sure I saw it on one of the tiles back there.
This is cool. I love this sort of thing. Pattern symbol, scrambled pillar, unlit brazier. Could be lit if you had it. Do we have a torch? Yes. Are you fire godlike? Otherwise you just slam your head into the brazier, problem solved. It's on fire. That's a video game. Come on, let's ignite all the things. Let's do the things, right? Neat! What did it do? No idea. So. Alright. Think we can walk across this if we didn't disarm everything now, maybe? Maybe?
Be quiet.
Let's stealth again. I bet there's a puzzle in here somewhere. The small folio is torn in several places, and blood is soaked into several of the sheets. One later entry is still legible, however. I can't believe my luck. A few rounds of dice and I've got my hands on a gem and with an artifact. A fellow who had it said it was pretty nothing as far as he was concerned. He's not willing to go digging in some ruins. But if he's right about this gem leading to a hidden treasure, then that's worth sneaking past a few painted elves. I'll head to seal out Lise in the morning, and then it's just a matter of finding this relief he was talking about. Yeah, he's dead.
Mom was very concerned about my pizza crust.
Scoldia. Alright, let's have another combat. Well, found us, let's go. Oh, this guy. Both of us were stunned by a stunning screen. Stunned for 1.6 and 3.2 seconds. Okay. Come on, buddy. Why are we not... Oh, because we threw our weapon. Obviously. Well, someone didn't check that before the fight, so I'm going to be punching someone until the next round. Come on. I'm a little worried. Let's use Gold's Pledge. Just heal a little bit. Whew. Got him. Someone didn't think it through and give myself a weapon again. So we're just going to do that now. He's still got 3 knives. Only 3 knives. Smaller meat, Scoldia, cool. Hatchet! Awesome.
Take a look at the wall. We could get through.
Can we get through? Decent question. Stone looks heavy. Alright, push. I am not might enough. Fatigued. Whoops. We received his injury and the character's knocked out, but we fucked up pushing. It was so hard. We didn't make it. You gotta rest to remove it. What if Hayden does it? No, he can't do it either. Well, fuck, we can't push through this wall. That's it. And a lot of those scripted events are like that. You're not strong enough to do it. Or you don't have the right stats. I bet Calliska could. You know? She was strong. That was part of her shtick. Shame she's dead. Do you think if we didn't rest, would Hayden have died? I'm gonna go with probably, just because, you know. But still, it's a hell of a decision. You think if we did the dialogue a little better, Hayden wouldn't be injured, then we wouldn't have had to rest. And they wouldn't have to do the tutorial about resting though, so who knows? Maybe someone who's played the game a bunch. See that? It saw us pretty quickly, but then it was moving away. It can't see Hayden that quickly at all because he's got a decent stealth skill. So let's take advantage of that by doing a pinch attack at the same time. Get him, buddy! Into slow mode because it's combat, which is not a bad thing. But if we're getting bored, you can turn off slow mode in combat. make things go a bit faster. Since we're not putting in too many commands, we're just like hacking at it and seeing what happens, we might as well. I usually play without slow mode in combat because, again, I'm not putting in too many commands, I'm just hoping it works. Poleaxe. Did we start with that? I want the shield though, because we don't have a fighter anymore.
What's that muck on the wall?
This is an oily muck clings. Alright. Cool. Good thing we have a water skin, huh? Okay, so now we've lost the water skin. Fuck. But still, we've got it. Sunburst, chipped away, tight hair curls. Pretty cool. Gem. We got the gem. Put it in. And a large section of the wall gives way. It has an ooze though! Ah! I think we should try and blind the ooze. Do you think ooze has eyes? It's immune. It's not.
Yeah?
Come on, buddy. Don't ooze me. We interrupt its casting a couple times so it doesn't get it off. Oh, it did. Activated spit. Hit slam shatters for 15 damage, but we killed it. Whew. Get some more ooze slime. Pick up this loot. A cloak! Thank fucking Christ, right? Now we can just retire. We're rich. Here's this next slot. Gives you +5 to defenses. Not terrible. We know what's going on. Mr. Hero of the Hour. Now we have a cloak.
No problem.
We're getting a little low in our hit points, even though we haven't died. Just become exhausted a couple times. So cool, we finished a puzzle, we got some loot. Hooray, but we're still suffering because we're down to Calliska and... God. Are we gonna make it? Should I ratchet up the tension by lying to you?
My eyes are peeled.
Seems kind of mean, doesn't it? Alright, let's go. Keep going.
Who was here? See if they left anything useful behind.
Cool. A mace, yes please. Clamping supplies and a hammer and chisel. Oh. Chipping away hard surfaces? I wonder what that could be. Small shield, torch. Alright, cool. So I think we'll upgrade from hatchet, a battle axe. So 11 to 16 slashing damage to mace. 11 to 16 but crushing damage. I'm doing this primarily because Mr. Hayden does slashing damage. Right? We might as well diversify at least a little bit. A deflection, I hit 2 knives because he's cool. Small shield, medium shield. Oh, fuck that. Alright, that's good. We can also rest now that we've got more camping supplies, but let's, like, shuffle it along a little bit. Go back over the wall, because we now have a way to break through. We can also walk straight ahead. Fuck. Sorry, Zora. I tried. But I forgot you were there, so I walked you straight into it, and now we're going to kill you. 12%. Zorip spear, and then medium shield. Alright. Okay, so you walk around it, you don't have to fight him. Even if he's already dead. That was weird. Here's a hammer and chisel. Makes you tired, muscles begin to ache. Keep going. You do that, you get exhausted, right? But then you can get through, and you lose a hammer and chisel. They're consumable, so you should keep some of them in your inventory at all times, just so like you can deal with these sorts of puzzles.
See what's around the corner.
And hey, it's like, hey, look, I got stealth. There's another skull here. It's around the corner though. Yeah, not much. Alright. So you can set up combat, at least a little bit, by saying, how about you use this as soon as the fight starts. Right. Got that selected, he'll do that next. Next, charge up, just deal with it. It's a whelp, we're gonna be okay. It tried to disengage, apparently. I didn't really see that. So, Hayden engaged it melee, and then it immediately tried to move, and it took extra damage as an attack of opportunity. Sweet as. Love it.
They'll never know I'm here.
I bet it's
Do
going
you
to be a
feel
trap.
that? There's a draft coming through that wall. I don't hear any sign of that storm either.
It's like, we went the wrong... Again, early in the game, in early dungeon design, means, in a role-playing game or a computer role-playing game like this, you need to have multiple ways through. I'll point out, still out this is just not huge, right? You start here, pointing at the screen, it's not going to be helpful. You start at the bottom here, you have a brief dialogue with Callisto, you probably lose a party member here, probably, right? If you go left immediately, you pick up an item that you can use here to break through a wall, right? That's cool, that's useful. You can explore the dialogue system. I think if you had like a high bestiary or something similar, you could talk to this dude, or you go around, get meat, go back, you can walk through. If you don't have the mechanics to deal with this trap, you can break through this door and probably ignite all the braziers, you'll be fine. Or you could disable all the traps and walk through. Or you could go straight in this direction after picking up the hammer and chisel, or you just using Callisto, breaking through the wall, going around this way, and you end up at the same spot. Multiple ways of dealing with similar sort of problems. Multiple problems, not all of them you need to deal with. Great for dungeon design. It means that your players don't feel like they need to explore everything equally, and they won't get stuck because they can't work out your riddle.
Let's go!
Eat it, spider. I say that, I'm not the best dungeon-style GM in Dungeons & Dragons anyway. A lot of the time, my favourite encounters are when we're using dialogue to talk to a weird person. Oh, bats. Bats as large as chickens. Jeez, good job. Get a rep here if we had a dexterity-based character to be useful, otherwise it gets some loot to sell. Oh, well, what's this? A helmet. Gives you essentially nothing until they're enchanted. That's how you balance godlike. More things to sell. Let's get out of here. We did it. Look at this. Just watch this. This is great. 4 figures stand before an otherworldly apparatus, an ancient structure of chiseled adra and metallic veins, ominous and looming like a silent observer. Standing motionless in their midst is what appears to be a human body, colourless as stone or ash. The other figures gaze upon it in what might be contemplation. From your vantage point, you are well obscured from their view. The figure closest to the machine stands out among them. A thick grey beard frames a face otherwise hidden beneath a metallic mask. His faded robes are embroidered with a runic language unlike anything you've ever seen, and he wears a strange black headdress with 2 protrusions that jut out like the wings of some malevolent creature.
Oathbinder, bear witness, and see this man has kept his word true to his last breath, full to his blood's last drop. Guide his soul, queen that was, and regard it among your fate. Let his life by the key be his confession. Let his death by the key be his absolution. May he walk the world ever free of the crushing weight of the book.
What does this mean? This is intense furnishing shit. Exactly, Kibble, right? All of this makes sense the more you read about the game.
Your brother has done his part.
Your brother? This guy? The dead guy?
I will expect no further hesitation from the rest of you. In the sight of the queen that was, will you fulfill the oath? Will you take your place beside your brother in the endless esteem of her memory that is without flaw? Step forth and be assured of the great work of your life's course.
He's gonna do a thing. The stone begins to spin. He said, are you gonna make the sacrifice? Like, not to be too obvious, but this doesn't look fucking good, does it? For an instant, the apparatus goes quiet and the air is still. And then all at once, it erupts with a concussive surge. Light floods your vision and you are knocked to the ground. Your head snaps back as you land and the pain wells into the back of your skull, washing away your last thoughts into the black, unconscious void. You open your eyes to a different place, another time. You stand in a circular room, grand and domed, its walls lined with adra and trimmed with copper. The style is ancient, but the chamber is unwithered. At the far end, a great pillar of adra pierces the floor from below, its shimmering texture giving the illusion of boundless depth. Encircling the pillar is an apparatus, much like the one you've just seen, but immense and multifaceted and intertwined. Your thoughts are yours and not yours, and they seem to exist before you think them, and they are all questions. Pressing questions, troubling questions, questions that must be answered or... At the base of the pillar now, you see a man with a thick grey beard and his ceremonial robe crowned with a strange ornamental headdress. You know this man. You are walking towards him now at a pace that is hurried while trying not to appear so. You have something you want to ask him, one question above all, and this question spins mainly in your mind. You're unconscious. You awaken to find your malaise is broken, only to be replaced with something far more concerning. Faint whispers are audible at the edge of your hearing, like a ringing in your ears that does not subside. Movement flits through the periphery, but when you turn to look, you can see no sign of whatever it was. You find your gaze regularly darting this way and that, an involuntary paranoid tic. If this is a sickness, it may be dangerous to go without treatment for long. The figures in the machine stand frozen in place, flesh and blood replaced by cinders and ash. The man who led them is nowhere to be seen. You find Hayden a short distance away in the shallow lake of his own blood. His body does not stir. You are alone and far from help. Gilded Veil may be your best hope of receiving treatment before things get worse. You're gonna level up. The quest, which you may not be able to see, Visions and Whispers. After surviving an explosion outside the ruins of Sea Atlas, I experienced a vision. Since then, I've been hearing sounds with no source and seeing things that aren't there. Yeah, rogue strangers have been killed and I had strange visions. Can we get answers? Maybe? He did. Hayden 3 Knives is gone. Let's level up. Got enough experience. Click the plus button. We get to increase the skill. We have low 4 because we're a big nerd. We should probably get mechanics because, like, we just lost that dude, right? Stealth, we lost that dude as well. Athletics, I mean, man, we couldn't push down a wall. In survival, are we going to be on our own? It's best to focus on 1 or 2 skills. Law, because it's going to be our thing. We'll make that the most. Okay? We'll take a look at the rest in a little bit. We get an extra invocation. So another spell! Let's do that, right? But, I mean, we've suffered quite a bit. Should we summon skeletons? Get damage reduction? So we hit things harder? It's kind of easy to kill things, right? Let's go with damage reduction for our friends, because that was hurting us the most. If we get a long fight, we want to be able to keep people alive. Now we get a talent. A lot of these are like, you get one benefit from a different class, like Acolyte's Radiance, or Brendan's Sneak Attack, or Aspirant's Spark. I don't want to be half multi-class. It's generally not a fun thing to choose. So let's not do any of those. In fact, class ones go of weapon focus for particular types of weapons, but we don't have enough time. We haven't thought through what type of thing we're doing. Do we want to stick with the shield? Or do we want to start using a goddamn gun? Which is totally possible, because they have guns. What did they come under? Yeah. Arquebus? Blunderbuss? Pistol? We'll think about it soon. Defensive, hold the line, get extra engaged. We will get a gun, it's fucking hilarious. And like you'd imagine, a bard and or like Chanter to just pull out a pistol and go bang! Fucking hilarious. Weapon and shield style for defensive utility, you can take extra move speed. Damage reduction from burn, from elements essentially. Quick weapons faster, but there's a class 1. Generally picking your class first. Each memory. When you're chanting, you can get constant endurance regeneration. Yes, please. We're low on health. Let's do it. We'll get a gun soon, promise. Pistol and shield will be like a engineer in Guild Wars 2. That's it. Review the statistics if you want after a level. You maybe later, nerd. What the fuck is happening? We are so tired. If we were in a fight, we would be in a lot of trouble. What if we touch these figures? Vessel flesh. You can hear those whispers at the edge of the game sound. It's purple again. Some burnt at a stake. Dissipates when we touch it. We will take their dust. We are looting everything. We always loot everything. We're adventurers. Adventurer, everyone else is dead. Would Kaliska have died if they were both here? Decent question. What would have happened? Let's go to Velwood. We are currently critically fatigued. So, we're going to walk in this direction and then probably going to fall. Right? Okay. We need to rest. We just have to. So we're going to hit the rest button. Camping bonus? None. We don't have enough survival to choose a bonus. We rest. We get a vision. Not to spoil, we are now at the end of the tutorial and the prelude, right? We hit Gilded Vale, we start, like, open world adventuring. What just happened to us, you have no choice about it. That generally goes the same. You have companions, you meet them, you do a little bit of adventuring, then you die. And then the companions die and you get hit by that, you start seeing visions. Here, that's a vision. It's part of the conceit of the game. When you go to buy pillars, the tagline of Pillars of Eternity 1 is no rest for the Watcher. You are the Watcher. You have a bit of spoilers, but not too much, so maybe mute me if you don't want it. You have other people's souls in you now, and they are affecting your mind and your world. You see them. The young dwarf tending to the stew looks up, startled, as he sees you approach. He drops his ladle, splashing the stew across the ground. What? Get him, you dogs, and make sure our new cook doesn't run off. Please, help me! Og! And we kick him as he runs past. We're gonna help someone in need. We're not an idiot, maybe they'll give us some gold. Can we deal with a couple of bandits? This is a real test of our character, right? Got an extra spell, maybe we can pull it off soon. Let's go. Come on, buddy. This is not critically wounded anymore, right? He's on lower health. We're hitting hard when we hit. Come on, Slime Shadows. Flash was robbed. So hit that guy or increase damage. Let's just deal with him quickly, okay? And I'm gonna.
Quest.
Alright, we're back. Dealt with. Okay, let's go. We've got one phrase ready. We're not ready to cast another spell. He's an archer. He's not going to stand up to us in melee. Extra one. Zap him down. Took quite a bit of damage from it. Not bad at all. Keep chanting those things. Our chants are giving him draining endurance, making him reduce damage. We'll take him down. One more. Perfect. 13 crush damage, we took him down. Huh. It's rough being on your own.
To you.
Butterflame, thank you, thank you, thank you. I thought I'd be stuck with these ignorant weasels for the rest of my life. Or at least until they're bored with me. I must get back home. I can only hope they haven't hired a replacement. And next time you're in the Gilded Vale, stop by the Black Hound Inn. I'll let Pasca know what you've done for me. I'm sure she'll do right by you. The Black Hound was the original working title for Baldur's Gate 3. Before it was like taken away by BioWare. It was given to the people who make Divinity? Whatever they're called. Reputation. What do we do? So, with communities and factions in the Eastern Reach, they'll affect us. So maybe this guy will go tell his people that we're good folk, and we get a bit of a bonus. Go us. Let's loot the bodies! And their wooden box, and their wooden box, and their tent, and their box, and the body. That's right, Hayden, we've got extra knives in your honor. Cool, quick little encounter, a little tense, that's for sure. So we can go loot a little bit more, then head over there. Once we get to Gilded Vale, we'll do a bit of dialogue, and then I'll finish up for the night, okay?
Seal.
Come on. Glad we took that one, huh? Wolf up. So there was stuff to loot up here. See, you can see it. How do we get up there? Gotta use one of these dialogues again. Can we do it? Most hindrance to climbing steady enough, get the right tools. We could probably try and scale it, but we don't have very high athletics. We said we're a giant nerd, we're not going to give it a try. Who's this guy?
Welcome.
Greetings. On your way south, is it? Don't get to any of your sort coming this way, maybe no offense. Suppose you're headed for Defiance Bay. So you get clear these words, the better. Shit. Like, you're the first person that hasn't tried to kill us on sight. What are we going to say? Okay. Maybe, again, we're not going to be reasonable or smart. Tell them to fuck off. Whoops. Who's hacked? Came a bear? Jeez. Don't know what to tell his wife. Jeez. Great brood of a beast. Didn't see it coming. Following a stag? Totally. Didn't stand a chance against a bear. Beast take who they will. The beasts specifically. More law. Alright, let's do something dangerous. So, okay, let's go. Deal with a bear? We can try to deal with a bear. We're cool, right? We're tough. We're tough. We're reasonable. And we one of those camping supplies in the river reed. That's some gold. That's why we went over the bridge. Do a little more looting. See if we can find a bear. And I hate killing wolves in games. I hate killing bears too. Just awful feeling. A lot of the time they didn't ask for anything. You turn up and you cause trouble for them. Very mean indeed. Shattered pieces of the crate, so strong bear. That's probably his mate. Nothing to loot, sadly. Oh, Zora!
Seal.
Oh, hit hard first. Come, soft winds and death. Easy. 25% of Zora. So we're filling out our beast tree to understand what a Zora is by dealing with it, which is, I don't know. You don't learn about something just by killing it, but it's worth doing. Location discovered. The bear cave. What's in there, huh? To get to Gilded Vale, you need to leave by an exit in this direction, not just any edge in the world map. Another Zora. Good thing we only take one of them at a time. We'll notice that our chants, you need to do them, build them up every fight. You can't just sit with it. The Cypher's focus does sit with you after combat, so if you're going to fight something easy, you can use a couple of soul whips, get it up, and then deal with them later. Use them on a difficult fight. We're back. Loot the Zora. Loot the thing. Take the corpse. Take a quarterstaff, pat hat, which of course we'll put on. It's in the stash. Sweet hat. Sorry friends, we're coughing more and more. That keeps up, we need to finish a little early. So
Do you have the heaters on still?
I don't think the heater's on.
Do you want it on?
I don't think you negotiate with bears like this, you know? They want one thing, to be left alone. Young bear, how dangerous is that?
Seal miss.
Excuse the coughing. Sorry about that.
Hey, they're coming back home.
We dealt with the bear. It was close. Look how low on health we are. Endurance, technically. There was another reason I wanted to come in here. What's this? What's this purple swirly thing? Law. So, this is something the Watcher can do. This didn't appear until we had the ritual performed on us. We can reach out to energy like this. Hunting deer. Your friend throws out before you, you follow, heart yabbering in your chest as he leads you deeper. Roar like thunder, fear seizes you. A glint of steel, with some terrible flash of agony behind your knee. You scream, stumble, and fall. What? That's weird. Your friend looked back from the mouth of the cavern, his dagger daubed in crimson to match his cloak. You were killed by the bear, sure. You were betrayed. Only a fool can see it coming. That's me. What about... I met him on the road, your friend. I'll find him and see what he answers, what he's done to you. Happy. Spirit. Confront the dude. Loot. And I actually think I'm going to call it here because this conference is not getting any better and I've got to rest. So, thank you very much for joining me for this first stream of Pillars of Eternity. I'm hoping we can continue sometime soon. I'll let you all know through standard channels. And I hope you have a great day. Bad timing, right? Anyway, it's been great fun. I hope you continue to enjoy Pillars the way I have. And I'll see you again soon. Time to turn off OBS.